Okay, do me a favor. Take a quick second and just look down at your keyboard right now. You've probably seen those keys sitting quietly up there on the very top row. You know the ones, F1, F2, F3, all the way across to F12. They're called function keys. Now, you likely use your keyboard almost every single day, right? Typing emails, searching the web, putting together documents, but chances are you rarely, if ever, touch most of that top row. So it kind of makes you wonder, why did computer makers put them there in the first place? What is their actual purpose?
I mean, think about it. Most of us just completely ignore them because, honestly, they feel a bit intimidating. They sit up there like this complex control panel for a spaceship we have absolutely no idea how to fly. Like, what does F1 actually do when you press it? Is it going to break something? Is it going to open some weird diagnostic menu you don't know how to close?
And then, of course, there are the ones we do use, but we don't really know why. Take F5, for example. Why on earth is F5 the universal button to refresh a web page? Who decided that? And how did it become such an everyday internet habit that we all just completely take for granted?
And what about the keys at the very end of the row? Like, what makes F12 so incredibly useful for web developers, but basically a complete and utter mystery to the rest of us? Well, stick with me through this explainer, because by the end of our time today, this mysterious row of keys sitting at the top of your keyboard is finally going to make total, perfect sense.
Here's the thing. Most people learn to use a computer keyboard in a very linear, strict kind of way. The letter keys, they're fixed. A is always going to give you an A. Hit B, you get a B. Enter means enter. The spacebar gives you a space. But the function keys, F1 equals, well, what exactly? For beginners, this is incredibly confusing. The keys don't actually tell you what they do. They're mysterious, they're intimidating, and sometimes, depending on what software you have open, pressing them seems to do absolutely nothing at all. But believe it or not, that flexibility, that is actually the entire point.
To really wrap our heads around this, we need to jump back in time and define what a function key actually is. Simply put, it's a flexible key with no permanent identity. Its function depends entirely on the software environment you're currently working in. Imagine an era when computers weren't just sitting on every single desk in every home. We're talking about massive, highly expensive mainframes. Users interacted with these giant systems through really basic keyboards. There were no drop-down menus, no app stores, and there definitely weren't any slick, smartphone-style touchscreens. Every single keystroke mattered, and engineers desperately needed a fast way for users to send commands to the software.
Faced with this problem, those early engineers came up with a genuinely brilliant solution. Instead of manufacturing these massive, expensive keyboards with hundreds of specific buttons for every possible command, which, let's face it, would be a total hardware nightmare, they built a flexible system. The hardware stays exactly the same. The physical button doesn't move, but the software dictates what that button means. A web browser might use F5 to refresh, a video game might use it to quick save, professional video editing software might assign it to cut a clip. The physical key itself doesn't care, the software decides. And that right there is why they are literally called function keys.
So let's look at some of the absolute stars of the top row, starting with F1. In so many programs across decades of computing, F1 became the universal gateway to help. And historically, this made a tremendous amount of sense. Software used to be way harder to understand, and resources were super scarce. You couldn't just pull up a browser and type your question into an AI chatbot. Actually, before you could even pull up a quick YouTube tutorial, you were often stuck flipping through these thick, heavy, physical software manuals. So the help system built directly into the software was often your only lifeline. Hitting F1 became this universal digital gesture for, hey, I need help, show me the manual.
And then the web arrived. And this changed absolutely everything, especially for F5. F5 quickly became the internet's favorite key refresh. If a web page didn't load quite right, hit F5. Sitting there waiting for highly anticipated concert tickets to drop? Mash F5. Think a news story just updated? F5. For millions of people all over the globe, hitting F5 became a completely instinctive cultural habit. A key that was originally designed as part of this flexible command system for ancient mainframes suddenly became a foundational part of our everyday internet culture. It's pretty wild when you think about it.
Further down the row, we have keys that completely alter how you experience your machine. F11 is a perfect example of an environment changer. In almost every web browser, pressing F11 activates full screen mode. With just a single keystroke, the familiar browser interface you're used to, the tabs, the search bar, your bookmarks, it completely disappears in a flash. The web page itself just overtakes your entire screen. It's honestly amazing how one simple, often ignored key can completely change your visual environment in an instant.
And right next door to that is F12, which I like to call the developer's doorway. For web developers, F12 is this magic button that kicks open the door to developer tools. What looks like an ordinary simple web page on the surface suddenly splits wide open. F12 literally peels back the visual layer of the internet to reveal the incredibly complex, hidden structure underneath, the raw code, the cascading styles, the network requests, all the massive data streams that actually make the internet function.
It really highlights how there are two entirely different ways of experiencing the exact same technology. To a normal user, the internet is simply what appears on the surface of the screen, the pictures, the text, the videos. But to a developer, armed with that F12 key, the internet is what happens underneath the screen. They see the underlying scripts and the raw data. One single key on the top row of your keyboard bridges the gap between those two entirely different worlds.
But, looking at all this brings up a really logical question. If most everyday users barely touch these keys, or maybe just hit F5 once in a blue moon, why do computer manufacturers keep putting them there? I mean, why haven't they just removed them by now to save space and simplify the keyboard design?
Well, the answer really comes down to one word: compatibility. You see, computing is built in layers. Old software heavily influences how new software is built, and old user habits heavily influence new interfaces. Because of this, believe it or not, keyboards are actually a surprisingly conservative piece of technology. The basic layout has survived enormous, monumental changes in computing, from those clunky desktop computers of the 90s to ultra-thin modern laptops, to glowing mechanical gaming rigs, to massive professional workstations. The function key concept just keeps returning. The technology surrounding the keyboard changes radically, but the core idea of having flexible hardware buttons, it just remains way too useful to throw away.
But hold on, because here is where the true secret power of the function keys is revealed. Their real power isn't just hitting F1 by itself, or F5, or F12. It's the fact that these keys act as incredible multipliers when you combine them with modifier keys. I'm talking about your Control key, Alt, Shift, the Windows key. When you pair a modifier key with a function key, you unlock an entirely new, hidden layer of commands.
And this right here is exactly how a power user's workflow evolves. You start by learning a simple combination, like pressing Alt and F4 together. That combination executes an instant command, in this case, immediately closing your active window. Once you internalize these little combos, they become a seamless workflow. This is exactly why professional computer users, coders, video editors, data analysts can navigate through their software at unbelievable speeds. They aren't necessarily typing faster than you, they're just navigating the machine fundamentally differently. They rely on these shortcuts, executing complex commands with way fewer physical movements, rather than dragging a mouse around to click through endless drop-down menus.
So, the absolutely crucial point is this. Once you start looking at your keyboard through this specific lens, a massive paradigm shift happens. Your keyboard isn't simply a collection of letters for typing words anymore. It is a full-blown control system. Every single key represents a possible instruction. Now, some of those instructions are obvious, like typing your name, but others are hidden. Function keys belong to that hidden layer of control. They are a physical, everyday reminder of a much older, highly efficient philosophy of computing. Don't make the users search for a command. Give them a shortcut.
Which brings us to this really powerful thought. When you finally learn this hidden language of computing, everything changes. The next time you sit down at your desk, just look up at that top row. They aren't just mysterious, scary buttons anymore. They are decades of computer design history sitting right there at your fingertips. Some are there to help you, some refresh your feed, some control your screen, some reveal the raw code underneath it all. Once you embrace them, you stop using your computer like a beginner. You start controlling it.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? If 12 simple keys on your keyboard hold this much rich history and hidden utility, what other hidden text systems are you interacting with every single day without even realizing it? The tools we use day in and day out are absolutely full of these incredible, invisible stories. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Be sure to subscribe for more deep dives into the hidden stories behind the technology you use every single day. Until next time, keep learning and keep controlling your digital world.